this is bad enough that you have Lehava with the government not doing much about it, essentially patrolling towns and cities in Israel and harassing and attacking mixed couples wherever they can be found. So if that wasn't bad enough, that the government does what it can to prevent interracial marriage, so-called, we see that they are now expanding their sites across the Atlantic, and so now this is the new face of evil, right? This is the enemy now. This is the failure. This is a failure that needs to be corrected according to the Israeli government, not because he established Facebook, but because he chose to marry a non-Jewish woman. So it's not bad enough that the government fights miscegenation, so-called, in Israel itself, but they're now exporting this model abroad to try to shame mixed couples. Okay? Now, Michael Oren, Israel's ambassador to the United States until a few years ago, and now he's actually serving in the Israeli Knesset, so-called centrist party. And Michael Oren, he says about Jews who are married to non-Jews, he says they have a hard time understanding the Israeli character, because I guess the moment a circumcised penis enters a non-Jewish vagina, they automatically lose 20 IQ points. This is his proposal, I guess. I'm sorry we're not as smart as you, Michael Oren. Only the pure-blooded, the pure racial people can possibly have intellectual prowess. And it's not only him, of course. We also have other centrist politicians like Elazar Stern, who writes an op-ed in the Jerusalem Post saying that Israel and the United States share a concern about intermarriage. Intermarriage is all too real in Israel. This is the eugenics program that it's not bad enough that they're trying to prevent in Israel, but they also want to prevent it outside of Israel. And so the government agencies spend money to conduct campaigns here in the US to convince Israelis living abroad and Jews living abroad. Over 50% of young Jews outside of Israel marry non-Jews and are lost to us. That's it. You're lost to us. You're cut off from us. And so instead of seeing this couple as a symbol of success, a Jewish man marrying the daughter of the emperor and empress of the American Empire. So we see them as, again, being something that must be fought at all costs. And last year we have the Israeli government, if you can imagine this, spending $4 million to prevent interracial, interreligious marriages here, not in Israel. Okay, $4 million to send emissaries around the world to convince Jews not to marry non-Jews. All right? Now, that's last year. This year, the government has decided to ramp up that figure to $50 million. This is my tax money. Okay?